All right, chicos, today you're going to learn a little bit about the subjunctive. This is something brand new, so make sure you take great notes. You're going to learn what the subjunctive is and how to form it right now. What is the subjunctive? This is something that's used in multiple clause sentences. That means that in the main clause, there's a verb of will, influence, emotion, doubt, denial, and that is exerted onto the dependent clause. In order to form the subjunctive, you take the yo form of the present tense. Should sound familiar from what we've done with commands. Drop the o and add the subjunctive endings. AR verbs now take ER endings. Ace, amos, ace, n. ER and IR verbs take AR endings. As, amos, ice, an. Verbs with an irregular yo form show that same irregularity throughout all the forms in the present subjunctive. So they'd be in the yo, tú, él, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes forms. Verbs like conocer, decir, hacer, oír, poner, seguir, tener, traer, venir, ver are some examples. That irregularity would go through all forms. Stem changers. Don't forget that we have our stem changers. We have E to I, E to IE, and O to UE. These are still boot verbs, okay? But now IR verbs will have an additional change, only IR. The E will change to I, the O will change to U, here in the nosotros and vosotros forms, just like the nosotros command. Here's an example of entender. Here's an example of pedir. The irregulars are the same as your commands too, so you can even write a note to yourself. See command notes. Dar, estar, ir, saber, and ser are the only 5 verbs that don't follow that go to the yo form rule. Kargar-Zar rule still is in effect for all forms, so the C changes to QU, G changes to GU, and Z changes to C in all 6 forms. I, there is, there are, becomes Aya, H-A-Y-A. So now what is a subjunctive? If you have a verb of will, influence, emotion, doubt, or denial, okay, those are the types of verbs we're working with. So we're going to have clauses of verbs. A clause is a group of words that contains both a conjugated verb and a subject. In subjunctive, there's a main clause and a dependent clause. The dependent or subordinate clause is where the subjunctive, so that second clause is where the subjunctive is. Here's an example. Subject of the main clause exerts will, influence, emotion, doubt, or denial should be in there. On the subject of the subordinate clause, this verb is what's in subjunctive. Notice this is regular present tense. And this is connected by K. Here are some examples. Insisto en que estudies. These are regular present. These are subjunctive. Okay? Espero que tú comas. Dudo que tú tengas $1,000,000. Yo recomiendo que tú hables español. Es importante que hagas la tarea. Present versus subjunctive. Green is regular present. Subjunctive is in red. You use an infinitive, not the subjunctive, when the expressions of will, influence, emotion, doubt, denial doesn't have a change in subject. There's no second clause. Quiero ir, I want to go, there's no second clause. Prefiero que vayas, here are our 2 clauses. Here's a great word that we've learned from Arabic. It's ojalá. It means God willing, or let's hope, or I wish. Whenever you use that word, it is followed by subjunctive. Quizás, or quizá, and tal vez, maybe or perhaps, they signal uncertainty, and therefore there is subjunctive following this.